one thing we have to remember is that we have to actually learn too. You know, it's nice to go over it and have, you know, people go over it with and read it with us and explain words to us, but you also want to put in the homework to try to get to do it yourself. You know, because right now we did it. We did the whole book. But can we start from hadith number one or page number one and read it on our own again with understanding? Better than the first time, but we're never going to probably have someone be able to read this book with us again or any of these books again with us like that, you know? So you want to do the homework to get to the point. It's not just I've been watching some of these motivational speaker guys. Some of them have some real nice advice about being lazy and motivated and stuff like this. And one of them said a nice phrase, which was, you know, learning is not a spectator sport. You have to be active in it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and he also had a phrase, man, I like it. Talk to somebody, one of you brothers, about running the program. He said a nice phrase. He said, leaders are readers. Leaders are readers, you know? Anyway, we'll begin today with this hadith, which is the 91st hadith, with our beloved brother Muharram teaching it. Allah Ta'ala.
Okay. So, سؤال الناس أموالهم. So سؤال is from is a ism, and the master of it is the root word is سأل, which means to ask, or it was asked, and سؤال is a question. سأل يسأل, so he is asking, and سؤال الناس is the questioning, الناس of the people, questioning the people. أموالهم is the plural, أموال is the plural of mal, and the root word is mim waw lam. So أموال لهم, asking the people about their wealth. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من سأل الناس. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, من سأل, so whoever asks, الناس is مفعول به, so asking who, it is mansub because asking the people. So the people, الناس is the object, أموالهم for their wealth, تكاثرا. تكاثر, the master or the root word is تكاثر, which means to acquire. تكاثر means to acquire or to add more to your wealth, so to acquire more wealth. So whoever asks the people for their wealth, meaning to acquire more, تكاثرا, to acquire more wealth, فإنما, then verily what, so إنما, verily what, so verily what, يسأل, سأل يسأل, then what he is asking, and here is مضارع, is the present tense, يسأل, جمرا, jamran is a hot coal, so verily what he is asking is a hot coal. فليستقل, فليستقل, so, and here's the amr, ليستقل, the master of it is استقل, استقل, so يستقل, then let him seek for or ask for a little of it, some of it. فليستقل, so amr, so let him ask for a little of it. أو, or ليستكثر, ليستكثر, the master, the root word of it is istakthara, or to seek more. So ليستكثر, then let him seek more of it. So whoever asks the people about their wealth to acquire more of it, من سأل الناس أموالهم تكثرا فإنما, to acquire more wealth of, he is not in need, but he wants to acquire more of it, so he has more of it. فإنما يسأل جمرا, then verily he is asking for a hot coal. So then let him seek a little of it, or let him ask for a lot of it. And this hadith is also narrated by Muslim, by Ahmed and Ibn Majah, on Abi Huraira. So Abu Huraira is narrating this. Do you want the numbers also for the hadith?
Just for Muslim.
Okay. It's I have two numbers here. From the Dar es Salaam version is 2399.
Yeah.
And there's another number from application. It's 1718.
Yeah. No, barakallahu feek. Just quickly go over it because he had very little, if anything, just a little correction just for, he's a Bosnian, so he doesn't have perfect English. This is already his second language. So, su'al an-nas amwalahum, asking the people for their money. He said about a couple times, but no problem. He's not asking about their money. He's asking basically for their money, right? قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من سأل الناس أموالهم, whoever asked the people for their money تكثرا, just as he said, seeking to add to his own wealth, seeking to gather his wealth, as we have the surah Al-Hakum Takathur, right? So, seeking to gather his wealth, فَإِنَّمَا, إِنَّمَا means only. That phrase means only, right? Not verily what, but it means only. When it's put together, إِنَّمَا means only. Then he is only asking for a jamra. He is only asking for a hot coal, right? So it's showing that he is asking for something serious, right? Not verily what he's asking for is a hot coal, but he's only asking. Basically, he's not going to get money. He's not going to get money or the benefit of that gathering the money, but he's only going to get a hot coal. ليستقل أو ليستكثر, so let him ask for a little or ask for a lot, right? It's up to him how much hot coal he wants. And he said it's a Muslim from Abu Huraira, number 2399. The only other thing, I would ask, it seemed like you were using the word masdar for the root. Is that right? Yes. Masdar is not the root. The masdar is, in English, the verbal noun. Masdar is a noun, right? The root, the actual real root would be the jadar. The jadar. And that would be like kaf, tha, ra. The jadar, right? But takathar, or takathara, yatakatharu, that's going to be the siga or the wazn or something like that, right? You would say, this is on siga, takathara, tafa'ala, tafa'al, yatafa'alu, like that. But the jadar is the root. Jadar is root, right? And that would be just the 3 letters or the 4 letters that would make the root. But takathara is a siga, which is like a wording or a wazn. It could not really a wazn, but like that. A scale. It's on the scale of this, right? Other than that, a masdar is a noun. A masdar is a noun. So like you have, as we said, amana, yu'minu, iman. I'm sorry, my computer went out for a second, my internet. Anyway, Iman. Iman is the masdar. Right? Iman is the masdar. So if amana yu'minu, iman. So you have jalasa, yajlisu, jalsa, which would be sitting, right? Sitting is the masdar, means the verbal noun. Like I love, like you got qara'a, yaqra'u, qira'a. I love reading. Reading is a verb. If I use it like he is reading a book, it's a verb. But if I say I love reading, it means I love the act of reading. I love jalsa, I love the act of sitting. So it's an act, but it's the noun of the act. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what a masdar is. It's just misuse of the term, but that's okay. Jazakumullah khairan. Any other questions, brothers? Sister? Jazakumullah khairan, Muharram. He came prepared. I'm gonna ask Ahmed. I got Ahmed. I got Tabarani. I got a Darakutni. Right? I got all of them. How many numbers you want? I got 3 different versions of Muslim here, man. What you want?
Muharram,
I like
don't pay him no mind. Don't pay him no mind.
I say he came prepared. I'm giving him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Abdullah, read for us.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من سأل الناس أموالهم تكثر فإنما يسأل جمرة فليستقل أو ليستقدر.
No. Abu Tahir. You with us, Abu Tahir? Inshallah, he'll be back. This next section is on al-mar'a. Al-mar'a. Mim ra. Alif. Al-mar'a. The woman. Right? The woman. This next section is dealing with the woman. Right? This first hadith, very short. All of us should be able to memorize it without a problem. Right? Al-haya. Al-haya is from hay. Right? Look it up. Ha-ya. That would be your jazr. Right? Al-haya here, it means modesty, shyness, bashfulness. Right? All of that. Right? Shyness. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحياء كله خير. الحياء, modesty, shyness, bashfulness, right? كله خير. All of it is good. All of it is good. كله, all of it. خير is good. Right? This hadith is in Muslim, number 157, from Imran ibn Hussein. Any questions?
لا.
Abu Tahir, you want to read?
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحياء كله خير.
You want to read the hadith above it too?
طيب, 1 second. Yeah, my internet was messing up.
No problem. It happens to all of us.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من سأل الناس أموالهم تكثر فإنما يسأل جمرا فيستكل أو يستكثر.
نعم الله يبارك فيك. عبد الله الحياء كله خير.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحياء كله خير.
نعم محرم.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحياء كله خير.
نعم, easy to memorize. Next time somebody doesn't show up for mine, you're just a crowd and they say, go give a khutbah. You say, man, I don't know what it meant. Al-hayat kulluhu khayr. Khalas, that's a good khutbah, man. Right there. Al-hayat kulluhu khayr. Wujub taghtiyatil wajh. Wujub from wajaba, meaning wajib, meaning obligatory or mandatory. Taghtiya from ghatta. Ghatta. We had this when we were talking about covering up our dishes at night, right? Covering up our dishes at night and saying Bismillah and so forth. Ghatta taghtiya al-wajh. Covering the face. The obligation of covering the face. قالت عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها يرحم الله نساء المهاجرات الأول لما نزلت وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن والآية لما نزلت شققنا مروتهن فاختمرنا بها. قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها. Aisha, she said, رضي الله عنها, يرحم الله نساء المهاجرات الأول. Basically, يرحم الله from rahma, it's the same as saying rahimahullah or rahimullah. So it's يرحم الله. Allah have mercy. Allah have mercy. Yarhamullah. Allah have mercy. So you say, someone who sneezes, Yarhamukallah. You just don't have the cat here. Yarhamukallah. May Allah have mercy on you. Here it is. Yarhamullah. May Allah have mercy. Nisa al-Muhajirat. On the Nisa, the women of the Muhajirat al-Awwal. Of the Awwal is first, right? The Awwal is first. Muhajirat, the female Muhajirat. Not Muhajirun, but Muhajirat. Right? Muhajirat, female. The female Muhajirat of the first people who made Hijrah. Yarhamullahu Nisa al-Muhajirat al-Awwal. May Allah have mercy on the first females who made Hijrah. Lamma nazalat. Lamma is when? Lamma is when? For those who are reading the weekly reading, Lamma balagtu as-sabiya min umari. When I reached 7 from my years or my age. When I reached 7 years of age. Lamma, when? Lamma nazalat. When the ayah came down. Nazalat. When it came down. وَلْيَضْرِبْنَا بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ. What is, and of course, lamb, the lamb here is the lamb of emphasis. يَضْرِبْنَا. from daraba is your jadar, daraba. This is, a lot of times we think it means to hit, but it can mean other than that, and it has many meanings, many meanings, maybe 40, 50 or more, depending on its context. Right? It doesn't just mean to hit or to strike, it means many meanings. It can mean to move, and here it kind of means to move. وَلْيَضْرِبْنَا, and the na on the end is the third person female plural. Right? So if we said yajlisna, that would be them sitting, them females, 3 or more sitting. So la yadribna, wal yadribna, here is, and when they moved, we'll say for now, right? Even though the translation of the Quran is different. When they moved, the same meaning but different word. بِخُمُرِهِنَّ, khumur is the plural of khimar. And unlike what many people understand, the khimar is the thing that goes over the head of the woman. This scarf here is the khimar. It's not the hijab. The hijab is everything. Hijab is everything. The scarf, the dress, the socks, the gloves, the niqab, the abaya, the everything. All of that is hijab. Everything that covers, hijab means to cover. This specific piece of hijab is called a khimar. The khumurihinna, henna is there. There, khumur. Right? They moved their khumar. They moved their khimars ala juyubihinna. Ala juyubihinna. Right? Juyubihinna here, if we go down a little bit, it gives a definition for the word jabe. Right? Gives a definition for the word jabe. He says, one second here. He says, al-jabe huwa madkhal al-ras min al-thawb. It's the place where the head enters into the thawb, into the clothing. Ay liyunzilna al-khimar alladhi ala ras. That the scarf that is on their head, that it comes down, that they bring it down ila madkhal al-ras min al-thawb, until the entrance of the head in the dress. So this ayat is saying that they bring their scarves down over their heads until it covers the entrance of the head, the neck, the hole, the opening of the head. لِيَتَغَطَّى بِذَلِكَ الرَّأْسِ, in order to cover with that the head, مع الوجه, along with the face, والنهر, and the neck, والصدر, and the chest. So when this ayah was revealed, وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ, and it says in the English translation for this ayah, if you give me 1 second, it says, and to draw their veils. To draw, meaning here we translate it as to move, just for purposes. To move their veils over their juyubihinna. Right? Move their veils, their scarves over their juyubihinna. Right? When this was revealed, Aisha said, شَقَّقْنَا مُرُوتَهُنَّ فَاخْتَمَرْنَا بِهَا. Shaqqaqna comes from shaqqa, meaning qaf, meaning to tear or to rip. So shaqqaqna, they ripped murutahunna. Murut, if you go down into the footnote, it will show you that murut is the plural of mirat, which is like an izar. It's like an izar, a waist wrap. Right? شَقَقْنَا مُرُوتَهُنَّ. They ripped their izars. They ripped their lower skirts. فَاخْتَمَرْنَا بِهَا. And they made them, basically they took them as a khimar. فَاخْتَمَرْنَا بِهَا. Then they took, or they made a khimar with them, right? فَاخْتَمَر. They covered up the places where the khimar covers up. Biha, with them. So they took their bottom waist wrap and ripped it in half and made a scarf. Right? Here it says in the footnote, أي غطينا بها وجوههن مع الرأس والنهر والصدر امتثالا للآية. It says that they covered with this piece of cloth that they ripped from their mirat, from their murut. They covered their faces along with their head and their chest and their neck, or their neck and their chest. Imtithalan lil-ayat, meaning following the ayat, using the ayat, taking it as an example. This hadith is in Bukhari. It's actually the wording in Dar al-Salam is a mixture between 4758 and 4759. You will find the meaning in both of these hadith, but the wording, some of this, maybe lamma nazalat is not in one of them, and then maybe this one is not in the other, so it seems like maybe he combined between the two narrations, or the Bukhari, the version he uses, has a different wording. Any questions?
No. بِخُمُورِهِنَّ. What's the B?
Be with. Or it's just لِيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُورِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ, that they moved. Basically, يَضْرِبْنَ is going to need the bat. Right? It's going to need the bat, or that they moved with, but it's not really with here. It's just going to be a preposition that's used for here.
Required by,
right?
It's required by Yatrib.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now though, just to make sure. But yeah, make sure better. I gotta remember what ayat that was. In Nur 31. The ayat is Nur 31 too. That's good for everybody to know, right? They know the ayat. Okay. Let me see here. Yeah, it's not saying here. I don't like this. They had a real good Adab of the Quran on Apple Store when they updated to the new 11 or whatever, man. They didn't, it no longer is compatible. And they had a good book with Adab of the Quran. Like it would show you why every single letter and stuff is in there the way it is, and it's no longer compatible with the new software, so therefore it doesn't work. And we contacted them and everything, asked the developer to update it, and it's been 6 months and nothing. I just deleted it the other day, so I don't remember the name of it. I think it was called Arab al-Quran or Kareem or something like that.
It won't work on what?
The new software of the iPhone, 11 point something, it won't open up. It's not compatible with the new app. The app is old. Go ahead, Muharram.
Another one. Yeah, there's another one called the golden Quran. It has Arab.
Okay.
pretty good actually.
Jazakumullah khairan. Well, if there's no other questions, let's read it while we try to find it, and if nothing else, we'll find it after class, inshallah. Go ahead, Abu Tahir.
قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها يرحم الله النساء المهاجرات الأول لما نزلت وليضربن بخمرهن على جيوبهن شققن مروطهن فاكتمرن بها
Abdullah.
قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها يرحم الله نساء المهاجرات الأول لما نزلت وليضربن بخمورهن
Khumurihin. Khumur is not khumur. I say khumur the first time, but it's khumur. There's no wow there for khumur.
Okay, خمورهن على خيو جيوبهن
نعم.
شققنا مروطهن فاختمرنا بها.
يلا يا محرم.
قالت عائشة رضي الله عنها يرحم الله نساء المهاجرات الأولى
الأول. نعم.
It has dhamma. Okay. المهاجرات الأولى.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Al-Uwala. You're right. Al-Uwala. No.
أولى.
It's plural of Ula. You're right. I just read it without looking at the vowels. I'm sorry. Uwala is the plural of Ula. Ula.
Okay. يرحم الله النساء المهاجرات الأول لما نزلت وليضربن بخمورهن على جيوبهن شققن مروطهن فاختمرن بها.
I'm sorry about that mistake. Wait. Go ahead.
Aisha.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a dhamma.
Right.
No, they're supposed to carry a fatha.
No. It's the fa'il.
Okay.
So it's the doer. If it was mansub or majroor, if it was qalat li Aisha, then it would carry a fatha. Right? But she's the doer. It carries a dhamma. Mamnu min as-sarf carries a dhamma in its original form with nothing affecting it. And here nothing is affecting it. Aisha, in fact, is affecting the verb, not the verb affecting her, right? She's the one doing the verb, not the verb doing her. So therefore, a mamnu min as-sarf word will take a dhamma, but the problem is if it becomes majroor, it's not going to take the kasra, it's going to take a fatha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Radd al-basar. We had this subject before, right? Radd al-basar, which is to lower the gaze. Radd al-basar. Lowering the gaze. Radd, lowering al-basar, the gaze. Radd, going bad, lowering, right? Al-basar, the look. Basir, basar, vision, all that, right? غض البصر, lowering the gaze. قال جرير ابن عبد الله رضي الله عنهما سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن نظر الفجأة فأمرني أن أصرف بصري. قال جرير ibn Abdullah, Jarir ibn Abdullah, him and his father both Muslims, so we say radiyallahu anhuma. Jarir wa Abdullah, both Muslims. Sa'altu Rasulullah, Sa'altu Sa'ala Yas'alu, as Muharram told us earlier. Sa'altu, I asked. Rasulullah, I asked who? Who's the object of my asking? Who's the one I'm asking? Rasulullah, I asked the Messenger of Allah. And about Nadar al-Faj'a. Nadar is another word for look. Nadar is kind of like basar, but there's a difference, but nadar is to look. Faj'a. Faj'a means surprise. Surprise. Here, he says in the footnote, النظر الفجأة أن يقع بصره على أجنبية من غير قصد. The نظر فجأة, the sudden look or sudden glance, is that the vision falls, or his vision falls on a foreign woman without intention. وَيَجِبُ عَلَيْهِ أَنْ يَصْرِفَ بَصَرَهُ فِي الْحَالِ. And it's obligatory upon him to turn away his look, his glance in that situation. فَإِنْ صَرَفَ الْحَالِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. And if he turns away, there's no sin on him. فَإِنْ اسْتَدَامَ النَّظَرَ آثِمٌ. And if he continues his look, then he's a sinner. Alright? That's what it says in this footnote here. Alright? سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم النظر الفجأة, and النظر الفجأة on the sudden glance, the sudden or surprise look. A woman appears in your vision. You're looking at the sunset, mashallah, and all of a sudden a woman comes in front of you and she's standing there. You didn't intend it, she just walked by. Right? You looked up, you were trying to see left or right, and there you're trying to see if there's traffic coming, and you looked and there was a woman on the corner, right? This is the Nadr al-Faj'a. فَأَمَرَنِي, so he commanded me, fa is so, amara, he commanded me, he commanded me, and asrifa basari. And asrifa, it should be asrifu, because of the N, it made it asrifa, and made the fi'l mudari mansoob. Amarani, so he commanded me, and asrifa, that I turn away. We're going to come up to this word again, and those who studied Nawaqid al-Islam with us before, they're going to remember it. We have as-sihr, Naqid number 7, Naqid al-Sabi', which is sihr, magic. And magic is as-sarf, wa minhu as-sarf wal-atf. As-sarf here is not the science of sarf, how we get words and all that stuff, but rather as-sarf here means to turn away. Meaning to make a husband turn away from his wife, or a wife turn away from her husband. Employer turn away from his employee, and so on and so forth. Right? Whatever someone would put sihr on someone for. So an asrifa, to turn away. Basari, my look, my vision. Sa'altu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam an another faj'ati, I asked the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the the sudden glance. فَأَمَرَنِي أَنْ أَصْرِفَ بَصَرِي. So he commanded me that I turn my glance away. And as the Sheikh Abdul Muslim al-Qasim said, if he turns away, then there's no harm, no sin upon him. But if he continues in his glance, then he is sinning. This hadith is in Muslim, number 5644. And the narrator we know is Jarir ibn Abdullah. Any questions?
لا.
Abu Tahir, you want to read for us?
قال جرير ابن عبد الله رضي الله عنهما سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نذل الفجاء فأمرني طيب فأمرني أن أصرف بصري.
يلا محرم.
قال جرير بن عبد الله رضي الله عنهما سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن نظر الفجأة فأمرني أن أصرف بصري.
نعم يا عبد الله.
قال النبي قال جرير ابن عبد الله صلى الله رضي الله
عنهما
سألت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نثر الفجأة فأمرني أن أصرف بصري.
نعم. Okay. Let's do it. The next hadith, Tahrim Dukhul ala Nisa, the prohibition of entering on the women. Right? The prohibition, Tahrim, Harama Yahramu, the prohibition, Haram, Tahrim, Dukhul, Dakhala Yadkhulu. Dukhul here is the masdar, Ya Muharram. Dukhul here is the masdar. Right? Entering, right? Ala Nisa, upon women. The prohibition of entering upon women. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم والدخول على النساء. Be aware of entering upon women. إياكم والدخول على النساء. Be aware of entering upon women. فقال رجل من الأنصار. So a man min al-Ansar, from the Ansar, he said, Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, أفرأيت الحمو أفرأيت الحم. If you're going to stop, al-ham, what do you say? أفرأيت, basically, what do you say? It means is a question. Fa, as we know, is so. Ra'ayta is you saw. Ra'ayta, you saw. But the madhab of Abu Hanifa is called the madhab of right. Right, which is opinion. Because I see that if we go left, it's going to be shorter. Whereas Abdullah sees if we go right, it's going to be shorter. So I see this, he sees it that way. I see it this way, right? That's an opinion, right? So, أَفَرَأَيْتَ الْحَمُ. Basically, what do you say? What do you say? What is your opinion? Right? What do you see concerning al-hamu? Al-hamu is, as it explains, first off, I'm going to say al-ham is from the Asma al-Khamsa. Let me say that first. Al-ham is from the Asma al-Khamsa. We have ab, wa akh, wa ham, wa fam, wa dhu. Right? Then if we add damir al-muttasil, an attached pronoun to there, we have to add a waw, an alif, or a ya. We can't say abuka, la. We can't say it like that. We have to say abuka, akhuka, hamuka. We have to add that, right? If we drop our meme, fuka, wadhu, right? Same thing as abika and abaka. Hamu is like that. Hamika and hamaka. Just to let you know, this word is from them Asma al-Khamsa. Right? The 5 nouns. Right? That's what they're called. The 5 nouns. Al-hamu, as he explains in the footnote, is akhu zawj, the brother of the wife, the brother of the husband. Wa nahwuhu, and similar to him, min aqarib az-zawj, from the relatives of the husband, ka ibn al-am, like the nephew. So, iyakum wad-dukhul ala nisa, be aware of entering upon the women. فَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مِّنَ الْأَنصَارِ, so a man from the Ansar said, Ya Rasulullah, أَفَرَأَيْتَ الْحَمُ, O Messenger of Allah, what do you see considering the close male relatives, which are still permissible to marry, like the brother-in-law or the nephew, that if she were to divorce the husband, she could marry them. What do you say about entering upon them? Or them entering upon the woman? So for instance, I'm gone, can my brother enter upon my wife? Or I'm gone, can my nephew enter upon my wife? Qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, Alhamul Maut. That relative, that hamu, is maut, is death. Here he says in the footnote, ay dukhuluhu muhlikun kal maut. His entering upon her is destruction like or similar to death. And khatarahu shadid, meaning its danger is severe. Its danger is severe. This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. 5232 in Bukhari and 5674 in Muslim, from Uqba ibn Amr. Uqba ibn Amir. That's an ayn. Amir. Any questions about this hadith?
لا.
Okay, read it for us, Abu Tahir.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم ودخول آل النساء. فقال رجل من الأنصار يا رسول الله أفرأيت الحمو؟ قال الحم الموت.
نعم يا محرم.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم والدخول على النساء. فقال رجل من الأنصار يا رسول الله أفرأيت الحمو؟ قال الحم الموت. الحم والموت.
نعم يلا عبد الله.
قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إياكم والدخول على النساء فقال رسول من الأنصار يا رسول الله أفرأيت الهم قال الهم الموت.
Naam, ya Akhwan. I feel we could finish the book today, but not really. We got 4 very short hadith left. Very short hadith left. We'll leave them for tomorrow. We'll just finish early tomorrow. And Abdullah can bring a goat and slaughter it. And we can all act like we're enjoying it, inshallah. So, Jazakumullah khairan. If there's any questions, normal. Other than that, we will begin. We know now we will be able to finish, inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow. So, Friday night, for you guys, we will begin with Mustawal Awwal. So, let whoever know that you think might want to get in, since we're starting a new book, and plus it's, the book of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, right? Then maybe they'll do this. Also, I have an isnad in these books, so when we finish them, inshallah ta'ala, we'll get an isnad for those books, for those who want so, inshallah ta'ala.
Yep.
So, Jazakumullah khairan. I'll see you, brothers and sisters, tomorrow, bi'idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.